Hi, in this video, we will see how we can analyze the missing data in R, how we can produce the synthetic missing data, how we can remove it, and also how we can plot it for the purpose of visualization using the library mice and vim. I will also be using library missForest. So I have all of these library written here and I have these installed. So in case if you do not have these library installed, I would request you to please install it in order to follow with this tutorial. And in this particular tutorial I am going to use the data iris, and it is the inbuilt data set within the R framework. So let you do not need to download it from anywhere. So if you will run just simply like data iris, then what you can see, let me just clear my console first. So if you will run it like data iris, then you can see that I have my data set here. And if I show you the head of this, then you can see that I can see my data here. I have the columns such as sepal length, sepal width, petal width, and which is the species. So these are the basically iris data set, and it has three species and with these characteristics. Now I will use missForest package, and the function is prod na, and I will create 10% of the missing data since I do not have any missing data in this data set. So what I will do that I will simply create a missing data. So if you want to check that also, so if you see here, then you can see that as of now in the summary there is no column for na. If you see down here, there is nothing like na, so we do not have any missing data here. Now, what I'm doing, I'm creating a new data set as iris with missing, and I'm writing as prod na, and I'm providing my data set name, and I'm saying that number of na equals to zero point 0.1. And what it means that I want 10% of the missing data created in my data frame. So now if I print the summary again, then you can notice that here I do not have any nas, but if I print the summary of the new data frame, you see that now it shows me that sepal length has 13 NAs, and similarly sepal width has 23, 13, and then petal width as 16. So now what I can do, actually there are a few ways to get rid of the NA values. Here what I'm doing that I'm creating a new data frame again from this data frame iris with missing, but I'm saying that na.omit and I'm saying iris with missing. So what it does that it will basically omit or remove all the rows which contains the na values. So let me run this, and let me print the head also. And now if I print the summary, then you see that I again do not have any missing values, but I certainly have lost some data. How? If you see that earlier I was having 47 records of Setosa, and now I have 28 records of Setosa only. Similarly for versicolor and virginica, I have 30 and 27 records, while earlier I was having 47 and 46, and I was essentially having 10 NAs. Now I do not have any NAs, but I have certainly lost some of my data. In the same way, what you can do that you can use the complete case also. So I am again creating a new variable im2 as a data frame, and I am providing my iris with missing, which contains the missing data. And I am saying that complete dot cases, and I am providing iris with missing, the data set name, and I am providing it as a row condition for the rows. So you can see that now if I run this, so if I run this and if I print it, then you can see that I again have no NA values, but at the same time I have also lost some of my data, and it is same as I shown you previously with na.omit. So these are basically two techniques from which you can using which you can basically get rid of your missing data, but you will certainly lose a significant amount of your data. Now, in this particular technique, what we are doing that now we are heading forward to impute our missing data with the mean value of a particular variable. So what I'm doing that for the purpose of demonstration, I'm creating a variable mean sepal length, and I'm taking the mean value of my sepal length variable, and I'm saying that na.rm equals to true. And what it means that when calculating the mean, do not consider the na values. Okay. So I have created a variable mean sepal length, and you see that mean sepal length here is 5.87. So for the purpose of not imputing my original data set with missing, I am creating a new data frame im3, and I'm storing my missing data here. Okay. And now in the im3 $sepal.length, so in the im3 dataset which I have created or copied from my missing data. So now if what I'm doing, I'm simply updating the sepal length variable, and I'm using the if else condition. So what it does that if else, what it does that if any record in sepal length or any observation in my sepal length is missing or contains NA, then replace it with mean sepal length, which I have calculated here. If not, if the observation is not missing or not any, then simply keep it as it is. So if else is basically if it is true, then this condition. If it is not true, then this condition. Okay. So if there is no missing value, then simply keep the observation at its place. If it is missing, then simply replace it with the mean value. Okay. So this is basically the purpose of it. Let me run it. I am not sure if I run it earlier or not. So let me run it again. Now, possibly what I have done that I have not run it correctly. Let me run it again. And now if I plot my summary, then you can see that I have I still have certain missing values. So let me check. Yeah. So if you see that I do have missing values, NAs are here, but if you check my sepal length variable, then you see that sepal length is the variable of interest here, and I replace it with the mean sepal length. And you see that now I do not have any missing values in my sepal length. So basically, that is a way you can update your missing values with the mean. And now we are heading towards how to plot the missing data with or visualize it with the libraries Vim. And so I will do that. What I will do that first of all, I will create again a new data frame im4, and I will simply copy my missing data which I have created earlier into the variable im4. And now what I will do that I will simply use the md.pattern, and I will plot the im4. Then it will print a nice summary of the missing data for me. So you can see here, first let me show you this particular graph. So what it says that 85 observation as such, those do not have any row or any missing data. Okay, so if you see here, then this is the number of observation count of rows, and this is how many missing observation are there. So 85 of my rows do not have any missing data. 19 of my rows have one missing data similarly, and that missing data is basically in sepal width. Similarly, 14 of my observation again have one missing data or one missing observation, and that is in the variable petal width. Similarly, if I go here, then you see that one of my observation has two missing records, and those are in sepal width and species. Okay, so this is how you can basically read this table, and if you want to visualize it in a graph, then you can again see that 85 of my 85 of my observation do not have any missing value, 19 have one missing value, and similarly 3 have two missing observation, and here is the name of the variables. This is not being plotted correctly. So now if you want to use a Vim library, then what we can do that we can simply create a missing plot, and this is basically the code to plot the missing data. And here I am using my im4 data frame, and I am providing it a color for missing and non-missing, and here I am providing the numbers and sort variables accordingly. And basically what I'm doing that for my if I run this, then you can see that most of my missing data is in my sepal width and followed by petal width, and similarly the least is in the species. So this is basically how, and you can see it here also. The yellow observation you can see are basically my missing data. So you accordingly you can make sense that most of the my missing data is here. It is approximately over 13 or 40% here, and so you can see it here also. It plots a summary, a nice summary. So if you see here, then as per the graph, the missing data percentage in the sepal, which is 15.33%, and the lowest is in species, which is nearly 6%. So this is basically how you can visualize your data and get rid of missing data using na.omit or complete cases, or you can replace it with the mean. In the next video, what I will do that I will use the mice library to predict the missing values and replace them, not with something an arbitrary mean or something or just like that. It will be a more flexible approach. So Do hit the like button if you like this video and do not forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you and I'll see you in the next video.